Alright, let's sync up.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2.
Nice.
For some reason, my first clap was terrible, and you can barely see it, so that's going to be fun for you.
That's alright, I only need 2.
Well, you got 2, so that's good.
Sick. I don't know. So we were talking about games. This week, because it's just the two of us, we're just going to jump straight into it. No introductions. You already know what this is if you found your way to this SoundCloud at iTunes. We were talking about games. The Lego games, more specifically. Dylan,
Yeah.
tell Mark about the Lego games. See, I did the intros without even need to do them. Genius.
That was incredible. It was the best intro we've got, and you didn't even say our name. Lego games, yeah, they're kind of just bland intro games, I feel like. They're, I think they're really good for someone who's never played games.
Yeah.
So that's why they're like good kid games, because they kind of introduce you to the concept of games, right?
Yeah, I played quite a lot of the Lego Star Wars games and then didn't
Yeah.
touch any other Lego games.
So I think I played them a few times because the Lego Star Wars games were one of those games that was always on in game, that was always on one of the consoles,
Yeah.
or like HMV or whatever. So I'd play them a lot there, but other than that, I never really played them. So I'd never had that. I never had that nostalgia for the Star Wars games that loads of people seem to have. The Lego Star Wars games.
Hmm.
I've still got mad nostalgia for Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy, because that shit is fucking
Oh,
pow
excuse me.
pow, motherfucker. Ooh,
Sorry.
good golly, that was
Yeah.
intense. Um,
Yeah.
so like yeah, there's the. I feel like there's an element of nostalgia to why people still sort of talk about them as that much of a greatness. But I do think the Star Wars games are one of the better ones, and then the rest are a little bit dull. I remember I had the Marvel Superheroes one or whatever it's called.
Is that like the Lego Avengers?
It wasn't Lego Avengers because it had like non MCU characters in and stuff. So it
What the
was you could play as
fuck?
like Wolverine or the Fantastic Four and stuff like that.
Oh, that's
And
cool.
it had fucking everyone. Like there were you could be so many different characters, and some of them had legitimately cool abilities. But like the best part about it was that it was in Lego New York, and it was free roaming,
That is cool.
so you could fly around New York or like swing around New York or whatever, and that was really awesome. But then there was like nothing else to do. The campaign missions were always sort of dreadfully slow and boring, and
Hmm.
like there wasn't much to them. But the entire time you could feel like if you didn't play games, this is perfect because it slowly gets you into all the different things of how to play a game without
Definitely.
being too challenging. So I can understand the appeal. But yeah, like they're basically all of them seem to slowly be coming onto Xbox for free because they give them away in games with gold all the time.
I My memory of them was that they were surprisingly funny.
Yeah,
Like
I,
they do a lot with like Lego pieces to be quite expressive in a way that's like enjoyable. But yeah, I don't necessarily know how much any of those hold up. We're saying this because there's a popular publisher sale on Steam, the WB Game Publisher Sale, and WB, among other things, have published the Lego games, and
yeah.
so we were looking at those. The one that I was interested in because I saw quite a long gameplay video of it, and it looked surprisingly competent, was Lego City Undercover, which is like a Lego GTA game. It's not licensed,
Yeah.
so like the Lego games have become popular enough that they no longer produce like exclusively licensed Lego games. There's like Lego Worlds and Lego City Undercover and stuff. And Lego City Undercover just seems to be like quite a charming, if relatively simple, like GTA style game. I don't know. I think
Yeah.
there's something about the look of Lego games that I find really, really clean and emotive. And I
Oh
think
yeah,
maybe, yeah.
they're so good at actually getting for it being Lego. They get feeling out of the Lego really well, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty
Like you
wild.
could, yeah, it's impressive. They like I think that's one of the best parts about the Lego games is that they're really well made, usually at least. Like
Yeah, definitely.
the story is usually quite charming and it's generally quite funny. And even though it's Lego, you can sort of there is some sort of emotional attachment to the characters in a way. Like there's you can feel empathy for them or whatever.
Hmm.
They're
Yeah, I don't
quite
know.
impressive.
I think it's just like Lego is all right, I guess.
They've been making games for ages, to be fair. I remember, oh god, I can't remember. So that Lego Worlds one you mentioned is it's like their big, almost MMO.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's I think you like. Oh no, actually no. Lego Worlds isn't that one. Lego Worlds is the one where it's like loads of different worlds that you can go into and change, isn't it? No, Lego. There's another one.
They had their Toys to Life one, which was Lego Dimensions.
Oh no, okay, maybe that's the one I'm thinking of.
Lego Dimensions was
And
the one where there was like, oh, there's the Back to the Future world, and here's the Doctor Who
yeah,
world or whatever, and it had all the different
that was like
properties in
Lego
it.
Skylanders, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah, and you had to put the toys on the portal. I
Yeah.
think that has gone the way of
Uh,
all of that shit and no longer exists.
Lego Worlds is their Lego Minecraft.
It surprises me that it took them that long to put out a Lego Minecraft. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a
I'm into that.
procedurally generated world. I don't know if it's yeah. Anyway, but there was also one. I'm fairly certain there's one that is multiplayer and like you can go into get together. But there was definitely one ages ago. I remember when I was a kid. There was a Lego like you just walk around and build stuff, and there was some sort of element of online to it. But they had to shut it down because people kept making dicks, so they
Fucking
couldn't keep it under
excellent.
control. So they just shut it down.
That's really funny. Good for the internet.
Yeah, ruin something beautiful like Lego.
They're doing right by everything. There are a lot of Lego games. Holy
I was
shit.
just gonna say there is a Lego. I was you because you said Lego Avengers and I was like, nah, it was Lego Marvel superheroes. There's all of there is also Lego Avengers.
Yeah. That's why I said it, because Lego Avengers is on Steam for sale. And so is actually
Oh
Lego
yeah.
Marvel Superheroes, but just in a different section of the list, so I didn't see it immediately. So that's my B.
Oh, it looks like Lego Marvel Avengers also has a ridiculous amount of characters though, so it might just be the same game. They just released it for Avengers instead. Who knows? I like how we've been talking about Minecraft for not Minecraft, fucking hell, Lego for a while now.
Ah, Lego's legit. I don't know. There are other things to talk about.
This wasn't even news. This was literally just
There's a stay
let's
along.
plug a sale. That's what we're talking about.
The October games with gold are interesting. I don't know. The actual news this week isn't that interesting, so I'm trying to
No,
circumvent it somewhat.
yeah, that's fair. I mean, Lego's worth talking about, but I don't know if either of us have played enough Lego games to keep talking about it.
I have played the shit out of the first two Lego Star Wars games, but also that puts me over a decade behind the curve on Lego
Yeah.
games. So I'm perhaps not an authority on it. Games with gold for October are good.
Yeah, like
Well, better than the PlayStation Plus games at least.
yeah, I think it's really strange that Well, I mean, we'll announce them now, but it's really strange that the quality seems to really fluctuate. Like sometimes they're great, sometimes you get like proper full on game. Even if they're old, they still feel like proper AAA games. Like you'll get Metal Gear Solid 5.
Oh,
It's
that was
like
crazy,
that's
yeah.
even though at this point it was a 3-year-old game, it was still like damn. And then some months you'll get like you don't know any of those games. They're all really weird like Z list games that nobody likes. But the games October Games with Gold was pretty good. What was it? It was this is kind of a mix. There's two games in there that are a bit well, one game in there that I don't have any idea. Um, shall I do them or do you want to do them?
You crack on, chap.
Cool. So for the first half of October, you get Overcooked on Xbox One, which is great. Tom, who was briefly a part of this show and also the radio show, right?
Ever so briefly.
Um,
Who's our Destiny
yeah,
correspondent? Though I suppose actually that's you.
yeah. Oh yeah, boy. Um, Overcooked, he loved that, and we played that a lot at uni, didn't we?
Overcooked is
And
legit.
it's a fun game. It's a really good party game.
Yeah,
So
boy.
it's and I mean we were saying this before. They've clearly brought this out because Overcooked 2 is coming out, right? So
Or
this
even
is
out.
basically free advertising. It might be out already. Yeah, I've
Overcooked
not
2
seen much
is
about it.
available for sale.
Yeah. So I mean, this is kind of like, why would you want to sell the first one anymore? And also, this kind of acts as advertising, right? If you get Overcooked for free and then really love it, you're like, well, maybe I'll give Overcooked 2 a shot. So it's pretty smart of them. And then on the Xbox 360, which is obviously also on Xbox One, um, you get Stuntman Ignition. Now I recognize this, but I never played it. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't remember a huge amount about Stuntman Ignition. What
So
what is Stuntman Ignition?
it's a driving game where you're driving in like Hollywood stunts. You're a stunt driver.
Right. Okay.
So I
Um.
think the whole point is you're going from like small scale stunts to big blockbuster stunts, and you just
Oh,
kind of drive through them. Stuff explodes.
yeah. I'm looking at a YouTube video of some gameplay for this, and it looks competent.
Yeah, I think there's. I'm not sure if there's like a sequel or a if it's a series. I think it might be. Um, oh yeah, there's a PlayStation 2 game called Stuntman, so it sounds like it's at least a sequel. But there was an Xbox Games with Gold that was kind of similar before. That was I don't think it was Stuntman kind of stuff, but you were driving and you could set off if you earned enough points or whatever. You could set off explosions on the map. That was very stunty.
Was that was like Split Second, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah, that was
Is that
it.
the one you could like make like skyscrapers and stuff fall on the map and shit like that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
feels similar, but I mean this looks like it's a fairly reasonable game. Might be fun. It's got 75% on Metacritic. Not bad.
Yeah, I just
Uh,
looked at someone running a race in it, and it looks like a actually relatively interesting objective-based racing game, which like
yeah,
I'm not gonna jump for joy over, but also it's all right
for free. Well,
for
you can't
free.
complain, can you?
Yeah.
And then the second half of October. This is, I think, well, not even more exciting. Overcooked is pretty exciting. Xbox One, you've got Victor Vran, which looks like a sort of, I don't know, Diablo clone kind of thing.
They've got some screenshots here, and the screenshots look exactly like Diablo.
Yeah, it's like a I well, what it's not isometric because it's from an isometric angle, top down ish.
It's the
Um,
Diablo viewpoint.
yeah, it's Diablo, but with a sort of Victor, not Victor, a
Van
Van Helsing
Helsing
sort
kind
of
of look,
style.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what like Victor Vran is clearly meant to be Van Helsing in this.
It's very well reviewed on Steam.
Oh really?
Yeah. 9 out of 10 with 2,500 reviews.
Yeah, 76% on Metacritic, which isn't bad.
Oh wait, actually, that's weird. because when you go onto the Steam page, all of those ratings go away. So I don't necessarily know where Google is pulling these numbers from. All right,
Oh,
ignore that 9 out of 10 because that could be a lie. That could be a Google lie.
those famous Google lies.
Yeah, it looks like a surprisingly competent Diablo clone. I don't know.
Which is
That seems
fun.
cool.
Diablo is a good game.
Diablo was a good game. It's got multiplayer. It's got
Cynical
cross-platform
Brit.
multiplayer.
Oh, then that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Maybe we can revive Diablo Night,
Oh
but with
yeah.
Victor Vran.
Sorry, you were saying about
Cynical Brit recommended it,
that's legit.
so I mean he's pretty reputable.
Indeed. Yeah. Okay. So that seems cool at least.
And then finally, Hitman Blood Money, which is a cool one. You seem to really like that. I've heard good things, but
Yes, the Xbox 360 version of Hitman Blood Money, which I think actually may be the best version of Hitman Blood Money because the PC port of that game was weird and has some interface issues, and the PlayStation 2 version is obviously on the PlayStation 2, so it's not hood, it's not ready for the hood.
yeah.
But yeah, Hitman Blood Money is I I would accept an argument that stated that Hitman Blood Money was the best Hitman game. I would
Oh wow.
disagree, but I would accept that
Yeah.
argument.
I mean, because you've spoken about how much you love the new Hitman.
Oh, it's so good. Honestly, the IO Interactive put out on their Twitter yesterday that Hitman 2 has gone gold, and I got a little bit giddy. I'm so excited.
What does it mean by gone gold? As in,
Uh,
it's
it,
like ready to go?
yeah, so when a game goes gold, the idea is that it is effectively done and they're printing it to discs.
Oh damn.
So
Nice.
that comes out November the 13th, and I'm just dizzy with excitement. It's going to be great. It looks so good. Yeah, so the argument that a lot of people make, people who I think don't know how to have fun, is that Hitman 2016 is a terrible game because, well, there are two arguments I hear the most on the Hitman subreddit.
Yeah.
One of them I think is legit. The other one I think is profoundly illegit. The legit one is in Hitman 2016 they removed what is possibly the most iconic piece of Hitman gear, like second to the fiber wire maybe, which is the sniper rifle briefcase.
Yeah.
So you can't stealthily get sniper rifles to a lot of places, and that does limit how well you can use sniper rifles. I found I used them maybe twice ever in like my 60 hours playing that game, and that was just to get a couple of sniper specific challenges that were relatively easy.
Yeah.
And that is fair. And Blood Money does have the sniper briefcase, and they're actually bringing the sniper briefcase back for Hitman 2/6. The other argument people make about why Hitman 2016 is not the best Hitman game is that it's the first Hitman game that doesn't have uh, NPC accents that match the location,
Yeah.
and apparently that makes it a bad game.
That's really sort of grasping for straws, isn't it?
Considering that the first couple of Hitman games did have accents and were also like pretty hardcore esoteric PC games, and the accents were really, really bad. Like,
Yeah.
there are some, I'm gonna say, pretty much straight up racist accents in the first two Hitman games. I don't really mind that everyone's just got kind of like a neutral Western accent in Hitman 2016. It doesn't ruin my immersion in any way.
Clearly, racism is what makes games good.
Yeah,
That's Reddit's opinion, and you've got to stick with that. If a game isn't racist, is it worth playing? I should
obviously not.
really emphasize that I'm being sarcastic and facetious there. That
Yeah,
is not
maybe.
my opinion.
I don't know. I'm so hyped for. Obviously, we're actually meant to be talking about Hitman Blood Money here, which is a good game, and it's good that
People know it's coming out.
people should play that for free. But Yeah, I'm so I cannot even adequately describe how hyped I am for Hitman 2.
I
There's
mean, you went on about the first Hitman a lot, so
it's
I say the first
so
Hitman,
good.
Hitman 2016.
I'm actually another big thing people like to be upset about Hitman 2016 for is they are they were pretty against the episodic release. I don't know
Yeah.
why people don't like that. It's a weird
Uh,
thing that I don't really understand. I thought the in a year where there were a lot of good games coming out, I actually found that the episodic release schedule meant that I paid attention to Hitman all year.
it keeps you interested. Yeah, it's a good. And if you're paying like the same amount as a normal game, does it matter anyway?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've been paying attention to Hitman 2016 on and off for the last couple of years, as is because there's always been like extra little bits and pieces to do, and they've done different DLC packs and stuff. But the th- I yeah, I don't necessarily know if I would have been so hot and heavy with Hitman 2016 all through the year of 2016 if it wasn't for the fact that every like 6 weeks or so there was another like 10 hours of gameplay
Yeah,
as like a
it's
drip feed. I don't know.
it's
It
keeping you addicted, isn't it? It's that little burst of I don't know
yeah.
what you need.
I think if
That
it
little shot.
Yeah, I think like if they'd given me all of it, I would have played through all those missions and then gone back and started trying to master them and doing all the challenges, and then I would have put it down. Something else would have come out, and then I would have come back to it a bit later and had a little bit of time with it, and then I'd put it down for longer and come back to it, which is kind of what I've done since 2016. And I sort of pick it up every couple of months to play a little bit of it and then put it back down again. And I think that is a valid way to play a game. I think them releasing it on that schedule meant that when it came out, I was instead of playing every level they had and then taking a little break, I played like 10 hours of just the one level and got super, super into it
Yeah,
and then put it down for a bit and then did that again. And I think it meant that I kind of engaged with some of the content maybe a bit deeper than I would have. I don't know. I,
yeah. No, I think it's a good point because I mean I do that with lots of games as well. You play it until you're done, and then you kind of don't touch it again. Like Dishonored, I did that. I played it a lot. I finished it like twice, I think, and then I kind of never. I touched it a few times since then. Then Dishonored 2 came out, and I played that a bit, and then I didn't actually even finish Dishonored 2, which is sad. But it's just kind of like keeping that game in your headspace is. It's just a good idea, is it, for the game developer? It just keeps you there, keeps you on the game,
yeah,
which I think is a good idea.
yeah. I don't
I don't know
know
why you
how
complain about it.
well it did for them. Like, I guess the fact that Square Enix dropped them like a rock and
Yeah.
they ended up going independent and then also getting away from the uh, like episodic content model probably means that maybe it didn't do that well for them. But I just think that's such a shame because yeah, it's solid. It is a solid fucking video game, and I think I'm not complaining that it's not episodic, but I actually engaged really well with that episodic like release structure. I don't know, it's cool. More people should play Hitman games. They are some of like the most clever, best written games out there, and because they started off as like really hardcore PC games, I think that first game has literally never ever come off the PC.
Nice.
Very few people have actually played them, but they are
Yeah.
sick. Fully recommend. I don't know. We got there's other things have happened this week in the news.
Yeah, there's one thing I want to talk about, but I don't know if we can yet because I don't know how far you've gotten in it. But Destiny, lots of stuff is happening in Destiny at the moment. And I don't know if you'd like me to avoid it because you've not finished it yet, and we can talk about it after you're done, or
Oh no, I don't care. I was actually actively reading about spoilers for the raid yesterday while
sick.
having breakfast. I Destiny is a purely gameplay experience for me. I
Yeah.
yes, I have been on the Destiny subreddit and things are happening in Destiny. You're right.
Or which Destiny subreddit? The low salt one or the full salt one?
Um,
Like
I
our Destiny the game or what's his face low sodium emporium or whatever it's called.
no, so I alternate between our Destiny the game and r/Destiny lore.
Okay, Destiny the game is a hard place to be.
Yeah, because everyone everyone loves a good complaint.
Yeah,
Sometimes it's all right though.
sometimes, but it's pretty difficult. Master Rahul's Salt Emporium is the other one.
Master Rahul's Salt Emporium.
I think so. Yeah.
I'll get on that. Sure. I'm always looking for more discussion about Destiny.
Let me just find the actual. Oh, it's yeah, Rahul's Salt Emporium. Ah, see, it's annoying me because this is just taking me to Destiny the game. I know that it's the low sodium Destiny or something like that.
Low
Low sodium
sodium
Destiny.
Destiny.
Low sodium Destiny, and they call the other one Rahul's Salt Emporium. But that one I think is a little bit easier to actually get involved with.
Because everyone's less of a gaping asshole.
Yeah, basically. But
Damn.
yes. Anyway, so this the Forsaken DLC is like full on, really, really fucking good,
Yes, it
and
seems legit. I
they've
am in the middle of Curse of Osiris at the moment, so I'm not actually up to
oh
the Forsaken
nice.
content, and I had to take a break to play Vanquish. But yes, so far all of the little bits and pieces that I've heard about it sound legit.
Like it's actually there's a reason to play. I'm really annoyed at the moment because um I got I got the new DLC. So Josh got my brother got me Destiny 2 for my birthday last year. And then
Mhm.
this year I got him Forsaken and the DLC
Mhm.
because it came out on his birthday. So we bought that together basically, and we've been playing it since. But now my Xbox is breaking, so
Just giving up the ghost, isn't it?
yeah, it. I think I just need to get in there and clean it, and it might be fine. But it means it's getting quite hard to play Destiny.
Because
Sometimes it actually works completely fine, so I think I've got it working again for
isn't
now.
your Xbox like close to launch Xbox One as well?
Yeah, I got it like maybe like the Christmas after.
Yeah, it's like a year one Xbox One, isn't it?
Yeah, I got it 5 years ago, so
Yeah.
I've had it a while, but it's still annoying because like my original Xbox still works. My Xbox 360 still works.
Hmm.
But to be fair, I do use my Xbox One considerably more because it was the whole point of why like what their initial idea for the Xbox was, wasn't it? Is that it's a media center rather than just an Xbox, and I use it as such. I use it to watch Netflix and stuff like that. Um, so I mean, there were times, especially in an undergrad, where it was always on. So
Yeah, I
I've used
think
it more, but it's annoying. Um,
those original Xbox Ones as well have big old vents on, don't they? So it could just
yeah,
be that it's getting a bit choked up. It's getting a bit dusty in
yeah,
there.
I think that's it. So I need to clean it out,
Get
take a
yourself some.
vacuum to it.
Whoa! Take some compressed air to it, man.
uh, to be fair, my vacuum cleaner isn't good, so it definitely won't break it.
That's even
Um,
worse. You don't want a bad vacuum cleaner up in there. I think it's because vacuum cleaners generate a lot of static charge.
yeah,
That's why they say you should never. There was a post a while back on r/PC Gaming Master Race where someone was like, "It's really dusty off my computer. Can I take a vacuum to that?" So I was like, "No, you'll fry everything."
yeah. I wasn't actually ever going to do that because I have heard the same things, but I do need to get in there with something. Um, anyway, but that sort of means I've been stopped from playing Destiny, um, and it's at a time when loads of stuff is happening. There's legitimately a reason to be going back and playing it. so it's annoying that I can't. Um, but like, there's sort of actually the grind is back and stuff, which is really cool. But also there's sort of story in it now, and one of the things that's happening is, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. What's
Okay,
up, G?
I just hadn't. It was really silent on the other end.
I was
um,
listening. I was rapt with you were going to tell me about things about Destiny 2, and I was going to get excited because I'm not quite there yet. I was.
yeah, I'm just usually not so enrapturing, so it was confusing for me. Anyway, um, so there's these things that are happening in that. Initially, there's this end game sort of area called the Dreaming City that you unlock, and it's where I think basically like the Awoken are at. Is the idea? It's like the Awoken's home city, or like they've sort of retreated there, kind of thing. And it's beyond the Watchtower or something like that. You get through that in the story. But it was this cool sort of nice looking place with lots of like gold and shit. I don't know. But cool stuff.
Okay.
And then when the first team did when the raid got completed for the first time, it unleashed this thing, and so now there's sort of an extra element to the story, and you watch like an extra cutscene, and it released this curse on the Dreaming City. So the Dreaming City's changed. It sort of became taken infected, and then this has happened again now.
Oh, what?
So there's been like an extra level of stuff that's happened. So when the first raid got completed, that happened, and then there was a few new things. So there was new story missions that came out, and then a new strike, and also a new map for that Gambit game mode once the raid was completed, which is really cool. And apparently the strike is like one of the best ones there has been.
Oh, wow.
But since then, there's been a whole other level of stuff. So the Dreaming City is kind of more cursed. And more stuff has come out. So there's another story mission called the Dark Monastery, which I mean is just more stuff, and it's like more cursed and stuff like that. And there's just the fact that I know it's still quite close to release, so like this isn't very indicative of how it will keep going, but it's still more than they've done before. Like the game, there's still extra stuff coming out after release, even for a little bit, that is clearly sort of thought through, and the game is changing. And the fact that stuff is even happening in the first place, it's just, I don't know. There's this feeling of Destiny is a thing again.
Right.
Stuff is still happening and it's being talked about. And I remember like when Curse of Osiris and Warmind both came out, like they were fun, but they weren't anything special, and nobody spoke about them.
Yeah.
Really. Like you never really saw anything. But now I feel like there's an element of feeling like Destiny is fun again, and people actually talking about Destiny. Like there's I've seen posts about it, and I've seen articles talking about the new stuff, and like even just playing with my brother, it's like it's not just fun gameplay wise anymore. It's not just fun to shoot the guns occasionally. The grind is actually it's got a grind. It's a reasonable grind now that you want to be doing most of the time. There was one element of that I had to do where you to advance to the Dreaming City, you have to like charge this thing, and you do it by killing things. And one of them, you had to do a certain like public event, and we just couldn't get that public event to happen. So that was actually really really boring.
Oh.
But other than that, it's been really good. And they're tweaking things as you go along as well. It seems like initially the Ace of Spades, which is Cade's gun. There's like a thing at the end to unlock that. And initially to start off, so you have to get a certain amount of kills and then do a strike, I think. And initially it was you had to get a certain amount of invader kills in Gambit. And so what that is I don't know if you've played any Gambit yet.
No, mate, I actually haven't. As I said, I'm still just kind of whipping through the missions,
Yeah.
but yeah, like I said, I had to put it down because I had to do Vanquish. Yeah.
So Gambit is this. It's a really cool game mode actually, and I, it's almost kind of like a weird Destiny MOBA thing. And so it's you're two teams again, and you're separated. You're in two separate PVE areas, and you've got to kill enemies and collect. I can't remember what they're called now. Nodes, I think. And then when you bank your nodes, it puts blockers on the other team's bank, so they have to kill them before they can bank theirs. So obviously, the more you get, the more enemies they have to kill, and then eventually you have your like big enemy to kill, and you win by killing this big enemy.
Yeah.
But every so often, you can, I think it's if you bank enough, you can go through to the other person's map and kill them, and if you kill them, they drop all their nodes. And
Mm.
if you kill them while the big enemy's up, the big enemy gets healed and
Yeah, it
stuff like that.
resets the enemy's health, doesn't it? What was it
Yeah.
called? It's called like the paladin or some shit, isn't it? It's got
Oh
some.
yeah. It's got some big name, like some sort of. Let's find out.
It's got one of those stupid future names.
Yeah. Okay. But so in that year, one of the things to get the ace gun, was you had to kill those invaders, and to me that just seems like really tedious. And luckily they've changed it now, so you killing invaders gets you more of the percentage unlocked, but you can just kill enemies in it, which is kind of nice.
Mm.
But that game mode also is incredible. And man, Destiny 2 is so good now.
I'm I'm hyped to get back into it and see what's up. I'm also hyped to be playing it on a console that people are playing it more regularly on, if I'm honest.
Yeah, nobody plays it on, or do people not play it as much on PlayStation?
Well, I only know like one person who plays it on PlayStation, and that is Tom, and he is,
Oh, so more regularly for you.
yeah, more regularly for
Yeah,
me.
okay.
Yeah, Tom
Okay.
is uh, unreliable. Bless his little cottons. And
Which is a strange thing to think, because when Destiny 1 came out, that is all he did.
I mean, I think it's all he does now, but it's just hard to like actually lock him down into like I think I managed to play like one Nightfall with him in like all
Oh,
like in like
wow.
the month I was playing Destiny 2, which was
That's a
yeah,
bummer. The bad guy's
that's not
called
a
the.
lot.
No, not really. Whereas me and my brother, miles apart, still playing regularly ish.
Yeah, I
You
hope
got
to
a
get
fire
my
team to roll deep with.
yeah, I hope to get my shit sorted out. Once I'm caught up, I think it'll be fun to do like strikes and shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I'm hyped to get into that game. They're doing lots of good stuff with it. I was listening to a podcast actually talking that was talking about the Forsaken stuff, and they
Yeah.
kind of postulated this theory. And I want to see if you. I mean, you may not even necessarily have the deep Destiny knowledge to back this up. But I want to see what you think about this. But they basically said that the Forsaken is the Forsaken, and then also like the release strategy going forward for their DLCs is emblematic of Bungie finally giving up on trying to court all of the like bro users,
Oh
all the
yeah,
people who
100%.
okay, right, because they were basically saying like all of the lore in Forsaken is basically them they kill off Cade, who was like the silly character. They
Yeah.
bring back the Grimoire. They start
Yeah.
linking stuff back into like really, really esoteric bits of
It's
like
like the
Destiny.
hardcore lore.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Destiny lore. Apparently, the next two DLC packs are just going to be like content and lore updates, and they're not going to be like big mission packs.
Oh really? I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
so it's not going to be like another Curse of Osiris, whatever. It's just going to be like here's more strikes and nightfalls and like just a bunch of extra lore and shit, which sounds really cool. It seems like because that was kind of the big complaint about Destiny 2 was that they'd given up on all that hardcore shit, and it seems like everything I've heard about this is they're just going, ah, fuck it, let's just people love the hardcore shit, let's just do that.
Yeah, and I think they definitely realized that was the problem, because that was the problem with Destiny 2. I think initially when it came out was that they'd like you say, they tried to court the sort of more casual gamer, um, and so that was like there was no grind in it anymore because the grind was too hard for the casual gamer and that kind of thing. And in doing that, it's just like, well, you've not actually brought in any new people because it's without the grind, it's kind of boring. But you've just sort of pushed away the people who were playing it. You've pushed away the hardcore fans of Destiny as well. And I think what they've done with Forsaken is like exactly what you said, is that they've just gone, okay, well, fuck it, it's hard. That's what's fun about Destiny is that it's really fucking tricky, and it takes a long time, and also the lore is fucking great. Like when I'm playing with my brother, because he didn't get Destiny until actually quite late on. He I think he got like that, you know, when you could get it for like 40 quid and you got all the DLC.
Yeah.
I think he did that and then just played it non-stop. Um,
Hmm.
and like is obsessed with it. So when we play through the story modes, something will happen and he'll be like, "Oh my god, it's like an Ankara and her fucking I can't say the name. I think it's like an Ankara but not Ankara."
They're like the ancient dragons, right?
Yeah,
That grant wishes. Yes. This is what I was reading about the other day because this dude was talking
Ahamkara.
about lore. Yeah, and it seems cool because I have always said that Destiny 2 has some of the best, or Destiny as a universe has some of the best lore in sci-fi, and has never ever been able to competently get it across.
Yeah, and they seem to be actually trying to do that now, even though it's really like, whew, you know, like some of the stuff that goes on, I'm just like, what the shit is happening? I didn't know this was in this game, and like my brother seems to know because he reads up about it, and so like when this Ahamkara stuff came up, which is kind of the whole, that's the whole point of this new raid. Well, I mean, you
Yeah,
read the raid, you know,
yeah. So
and
I was actually reading about like all that shit, and yeah, that does seem to be the point of the new raid.
yeah, like he called that when we started playing Forsaken. So there's a whole thing of, and this was also stuff I didn't know, but this is the stuff I didn't know was because I didn't really play Destiny, the first one.
Mm.
Um, so there's the whole stuff with like Aldrin Sov and his sister, like the queen or whatever.
She's the
I don't
queen of
think
the
she is
reef,
the
isn't
queen.
she?
She's the queen of the reef, yeah.
Yeah.
And so she's like in Destiny One, she disappears. People think she died, but then people in real life, so on the Destiny subreddit, didn't think she died because like there was story about Aldrin hearing her, this kind of stuff. And then this is kind of what was confirmed in Forsaken is that Aldrin could hear her and was talking to her. And as soon as she came on the thing and she acts a bit funny and she's like, there's clearly something up with Aldrin. My brother just went, oh, I don't think she's actually her. And then a little bit later on, it goes, I reckon she's an Ahamkara tricking him. And it's just like, okay, I don't know what that means. And then you get to the end, and that's exactly it. Like, how deep into this Destiny lore are you? How could you?
Mate, that's cool. That's really
But
cool.
but like yeah, like you said, there's so much in it, and I think the fact that they're actually trying to get that across now is cool. You can read the lore in the game. How crazy is that?
Fuck, man, I just want to play some Destiny now.
Yeah, me too.
I want to go shoot some dudes.
Maybe that can be the next Mark and Dylan make a podcast
We
because
just,
that will inevitably happen soon. We'll just set up and play some Destiny while we record.
yeah, fuck it, man. Yeah, I mean, I think I've managed to. So this is not even really interesting content to listen to, but it's interesting for you. I think I've found a cable that will let me plug my headset and microphone into an Xbox One controller.
Nice.
So I think we can have them voice chats, son.
Oh yeah, buddy.
I'd have to test it though.
My sorry.
I was just talking shit. You're what, mate?
My I had like that microphone, that Microsoft headset that broke a while ago, and then I was using just sort of whatever music headphones that had a microphone in, and now those I've lost somehow, and so I just use my Kinect. That's what the Kinect has ended up being. I use it to pause and play Netflix, and I use it to talk to my brother while I play Destiny.
That's pretty
That's
good.
that's the Kinect's ultimate Destiny. It's the end game of the Kinect. Just a hyped up microphone.
Mate, that's alright though.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
And
So
if my
do you
Xbox
use
wasn't
headphones
fucked,
with that?
yeah.
Okay, right. Yeah,
Otherwise, it would just be all feedbacky and weird.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
actually pretty good at cancelling out the sound if you don't have headphones in. Um,
But it's never going to
but
be
it
as good as
can.
just having headphones in, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like it does a fairly decent job, but I might as well just put headphones in. It also means that when I'm playing Destiny, I'm not annoying her as much.
I'm sure she
Still a
appreciates
bit,
that.
but not as much.
Oh, mate. Well, I think we can call that an episode.
Yeah, we've managed to talk for quite a while about not much.
Oh,
We're
fuck
getting
it.
pretty good at that.
Yeah, man. It's good.
Got to peel off, have two competing podcasts. Mark and Dylan make a podcast and chatting over the news.
Yeah, just fucking cancel all their shit. Fuck that. I'm done. I'm done.
Just
That's
talk
not
about
true.
Destiny.
That's the Destiny cast. Mark and Dylan want to play Destiny.
Mark and Dylan don't know much about Destiny.
Mark and Dylan talk about shit they heard on podcasts about Destiny because neither of them actually
Yeah.
have the time or inclination or raid groups to get that deep into the lore.
To be fair, I'm actually in. I'm in my brother's clan, and they do the raids quite a lot. So
Is there any space in that clan?
there might be. I'll get my brother to ask because I don't have the sway, but he seems to actually know them. He talks to them. So
Yeah, obviously I'm if they are looking for a relatively active player, I'm not the best for that because
I
I
think
tend to
they've got.
hmm?
I think they've got quite a few people who don't play very much.
Yeah, because I tend to flit around between games. But also, I did like being in a clan because I did like feeling like when I was doing public strikes and stuff or public events and shit, it was actually contributing to something greater than just me and
Yeah.
flashpoints.
Yeah. It also meant I could level up my character way quicker because I just had all those clan engrams.
Oh yes, when you're getting like raid engrams, it's so fucking good. I was rolling around at like in on the PlayStation 4, I was rolling around like level 10, but I happened to have a fucking I had the rocket launcher from the raid, the Sins of the
Nice.
Father. It's legit. Aye,
Yeah, it's good having a clan. So we'll see what we can do.
yeah, holler at your boy, because I would like to be in a clan again. Alright, mate.
Yeah, I think that's it, right? We've not got anything else to talk about.
No, at some point this weekend, my plan is to find out why my video encoder hasn't been working, get it to work, encode like the last 3 episodes, and put them on YouTube. But who knows if that's actually going to happen. So, as per the last few weeks, this is on SoundCloud and iTunes, which is not the most varied, but it'll do.
It'll do for now.
That'll do.
It'll have to do for now.
There's literally no other option, unless you guys want to make some videos.
I can give it a go. I don't know how, but I'll give it a go.
If you're interested, holler and I will send you the logo stuff that Chor made.
Oh yeah. Shout out
Aye,
to Troll, logo boy.
yeah, man. Yeah, shout out to our wayward brothers. Right,
Yeah.
I'm gonna play
Vanquish
some
next week, right? Yeah.
Vanquish. Yeah, I think Vanquish next week is the plan. Chor's gonna give us a write-in because Mans is busy with his life, which is fair. Can't judge a man for that.
I will
Maybe,
anyway.
yeah, well, maybe if we maybe make it to 2019, and we want to do a season 3. Maybe we'll rethink the monthly schedule and make it more of just a let's. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. This whole I quite like that we're not married to any one concept with this podcast.
Not enough people listen for us to be married to a concept.
Yeah,
It's freeing.
I
We
mean
can do what we want.
that is very true. But just like being able to just kind of mix it up and get rid of what works or what doesn't work and keep doing what works is actually quite nice.
Yeah.
All right, buddy.
But either way, see you next week.
See you next week. Bye.